Guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am showing you how to do the bead stitch. The bead stitch is absolutely beautiful. There's so much to it, and it looks more complicated than it actually is. I mean, technically, the level for this crochet project, because it is a slanted cluster stitch, it would fall in an intermediate level crochet stitch, but the way I'm going to show you, the way it's actually created, is fairly simple, and I think that an advanced beginner crocheter could absolutely tackle this particular pattern. The terminology I'm going to be using for this demonstration is all US terminology, so whenever I'm referring to the name of stitches, I'm using US terms. This pattern is a 2-row repeat. We will be repeating row 2 and row 3 over and over again to achieve the pattern or the look of the pattern, and this stitch is worked in a multiple stitch count requirement of a multiple of 2. Though personally I think it should be worked in a multiple of 2 plus 1, but I'll explain why in the demonstration. Alright, let's go ahead and begin. To work up this demonstration, if you care, I am just using a size 4 weight worsted weight medium Aran 10-12 ply or 8 WPI sized yarn. This is Loops and Threads Impeccable in the color Classic Gray. Doesn't really matter, but if you want to know exactly what I'm using for this demonstration, there you go. The crochet hook that I'm using is an H8 or 5mm crochet hook. And then here, just to clean up my swatch that I'm making, I have a pair of scissors and a yarn needle or tapestry needle that I will use to weave in my ends at the end of this swatch project. So beginning our bead stitch demonstration. The bead stitch is worked in a multiple of 2. So I'm going to go ahead and work up 20 stitches so that way you can really see this stitch worked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 19, and 20. Great. For row 1, we're going to single crochet in the second chain from our crochet hook and single crochet in every single chain all the way across. So skipping the first, single crochet in the second. Here we go. And last stitch here, single crochet. Great. Okay, it is row 2 that we create the slanted cluster stitch, and that stitch is referred to as an SLCL, slanted cluster. So if you ever see that abbreviation, that's what it stands for. We start row 2 by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3, turn our work. Now the chain 3 does count as our first double crochet stitch, and we'll take that first stitch space. So the very first stitch we will work in row 2 is a double crochet stitch in the next stitch space over. Double crochet. Great. To work the slanted cluster, we will yarn over, we will take our crochet hook around that double crochet stitch we just made, so in the hole between the 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through. So it's around it, not in the top of the stitch. So there is 3 loops on my crochet hook. We're going for 7. So 4, 5, 6, and 7. Great. And if you want to, you can even count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep these stitches loose. If you're too tight, then when you yarn over here to pull through, your crochet hook is not getting through all those stitches. So if you're running into that problem, it's probably because your loops here are too tight, and you go ahead and repeat the process a little bit looser. Then we're going to yarn over, pull that loop or pull that yarn through all 7 loops on our crochet hook, and that is the slanted cluster. Skip the next stitch space, double crochet in the following stitch space, double crochet, slanted cluster. Here we go. So in that space, that skipped stitch space, I'm going to stick my finger right there because that's where I'm going to place my crochet hook. So yarn over, take my crochet hook, put it through that space, yarn over, pull through, keeping everything loose, yarn over, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through. I've got 5 loops on my crochet hook right now. Let's do that one more time. Yarn over, insert crochet hook, yarn over, pull through. There's 7. Oh, let me go ahead and fix that one loop. One of the plies got away from me. Then we're going to yarn over and pull that yarn through all the loops. Now if you noticed my claw of my crochet hook, I grabbed that yarn and I twisted so the claw would be facing down towards that teardrop point of all those loops so that it will smoothly glide right through. And then I don't chain. No chain. If you chain, you're going to be in trouble. Don't do it. We seriously go straight from pulling that yarn through to skip the next stitch, double crochet in the following. Double crochet. All right, and that's all we do for all of row 2. We make that double crochet stitch and then we make a slanted cluster around it. Skip the next stitch space, double crochet, slanted cluster, skip the next, and that is the repeat pattern. I will meet you at the very end of row 2 to show you how we will close row 2 and move on to row 3. So here I have 3 loops on my crochet hook, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over, pull through, double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over, pull through. All right, as we get to the end of row 2, you may look at these stitch spaces and be like, Tiffany, there's only 3 left here. I know. And that's why I was like, okay, I might have done the multiple stitch count a little differently because of this. But watch what I do to finish row 2 here. We're going to skip this stitch space, double crochet in the next. Great. Make our slanted cluster stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. Now in the pattern, this is what they want you to do. They want you to skip this next stitch space. They want you to find that turning chain and they want you to double crochet in that turning chain to close row 2. So we're going to yarn over, find this turning chain here. If you need to use your claw to grab it, there we go. Zoom extra close in here so that way you can see exactly what I grabbed. And then double crochet. Now because they are using the turning chain to place our very last double crochet stitch, that's where I can see it being a little confusing for people. Why not just start with a multiple stitch count of a multiple of 2 plus 1 so we have that even number of stitches to place in the row? Either way, it's not my pattern, it's just an official, like this is how you do the bead stitch type pattern. So I wanted to stick with how it is explained and demonstrated in other ways as well. For row 3, we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work, right? And you're just going to make 1 single crochet stitch in every stitch space all the way across. You're going underneath both loops. So if you turn the work over at the top, you should see that V on the top. Going under both loops and making a regular single crochet stitch. You should end with the same number of stitches that you chained with for this particular example. For me, I chained 20. For me, in every single row, I should have 20 stitches. Okay, here at the end, 18. Important to count because you don't want to skip a stitch space. on top of that double crochet stitch right there. Make sure you don't miss that. I could see somebody skipping that. So I just made a single crochet in that cluster, finding that double crochet stitch. Boom, there is a stitch space right there. And then you will close row 3 by making a single crochet stitch in the 3rd chain, or the top turning chain right there. And that is it. Moving forward, we are just repeating row 2 and row 3, row 2, row 3. That's it. That's how you do the bead stitch. I do want to point out something that I noticed with this stitch that I think you will notice and possibly think something is wrong, but there is not anything wrong. So when I was working up this whole stitch, I ended up working this up and it had a slant to it. There is definitely a diagonal thing going on here. And even I was like, what's going on? You know, all my stitches are on point, the count is right, even the sides are straight. It's just the whole thing is kind of working itself up in a slant. And that's really because of the slanted cluster stitches. Everything is really pulling in one direction, which is causing this to happen. So what I did is I blocked it to see if that would help. And this is the blocked work. And I still have to give it a little bit of a tug. I had it air dry overnight. Maybe having it air dry a little bit longer might assist it in keeping that shape right here, but side by side profile, you can see how I got this one to be as squared up as possible, and this one is the raw, this is how it worked up naturally. So you can actually make this stitch very square if you would like to make this into a blanket, or if you'd like to use this for a sweater or any kind of square shape that you would ideally like, even a scarf. Look beautiful, but just know when you're originally working up the pattern, it's going to come out this way. And if you would like the edges to be more squared off, you're going to need to block it. Just in case you were wondering, I do have a stitch card with the bead stitch worked up on it already on my website, crochetwithtiffany.com. It's ready for you to print off completely free. It's under stitches. I'll put a link in the description section below for you so you can go straight to it. It's got the entire pattern on how to work the bead stitch, including the little tip here on how to work that slanted cluster, just in case you forget. And it's got a nice little spot here for you to attach your swatch so you have a reference in the future if you're looking for a fun crochet stitch to play with. Guys, I had so much fun working up the bead stitch with you today. I hope you had a blast too. I have so much fun crocheting with you guys. It's really the highlight of my day. I hope you have a beautiful day today. If you would like to play with more crochet stitches with me and just keep crocheting with me, check out this playlist that I have right here and let's keep going. I have so many more fun crochet stitches to show you. Oh gosh, I hope you have the best day, guys, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.